You're listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. She is passionate, direct, and sometimes a little sarcastic, but always gives you what you need to succeed in business. Now, here's your host, Amber De La Garza, the Productivity Specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today is episode 17, How Entrepreneurs Can Create Productive Routines. If you are an entrepreneur who wants to take consistent, massive, focused action in your business and life, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me. If you're coming back for another episode, then you know that this is the place where we improve our productivity to increase our profits. My goal today is for you to start creating winning routines so that you can reap the benefits of optimal structure versus balance in your days and progress towards your goals at a manageable pace. I am looking forward to this episode with you today because you're going to discover the art of bookending your day with 4 meaningful routines, 3 useful tips for engineering routines that foster your success, how to find the right balance of structure versus flexibility in your day, and so much more. So let's dive right in and get straight to it. Routines. Who wants them? Sounds boring, right? The word itself produces a vision of structure, formality, and restrictions. You may be thinking of yourself as a free spirit or a creative and just hate the idea of routines. But if you were to analyze just one day in your life, you would find you have routines weaved throughout your entire day. Routines are simply habits layered on top of each other that are performed in a specific sequence. In fact, if you missed it, we learned all about it in our last episode, number 16 of Habit Stacking to Make Routines Stick with Steve Scott. Steve Scott talks all about the benefits of habit stacking to create success routines, and we delve deep in that interview about how to create your habit stacking routines. But today, I'm talking to you about the actual benefits of routines and what kind of routines do you need. We all have routines. Over time, they become automatic behaviors in our daily lives that we don't even think about. We just do them. Routines are a force to be reckoned with. If you are not intentional with your time, you could be unintentionally creating routines based on bad habits, which makes your productivity suffer. That is why it is so important you make routines work for you and not against you. I'm going to say that one more time. You have got to make your routines work for you, not against you. You have routines and habits all around you. It is up to you to create them intentionally so that they support you and your goals and your vision of success. When creating routines that will work for you, it is wise to start with your larger, long-term goals and then work your way backwards. You can do this by asking yourself, what behaviors or actions do I need to take daily if compounded over time will enable me to achieve my goals? I'm going to say that one more time. I want you to ask yourself, what behaviors or actions do you need to take daily that if compounded over time will enable you to achieve your goals? Approaching your goals as the tortoise does, using the ideology that slow and steady wins the race, usually does. Because the alternative is attempting to achieve your goals swiftly and erratically with extreme action. No routines, no positive habits, no intentions, and certainly no predictable results. In fact, one of the major downsides of that method is that you will have inconsistent results, and while you're focusing on that one aspect of your business, you will have to neglect all other aspects. Instead, create routines that align with your goals. Work them thoroughly until they work incredibly well for you, and then progress towards the finish line at a manageable pace. Using routines and stacking habits that support the achievement of your goals will ensure you are consistently achieving many goals, if not all your goals, and not just hyper-focusing on the achievement of that one at the expense of all others. An example of this is when you dive deep into a huge project. And when you come up and out of that project, because it wasn't weaved into your daily routine and you weren't biting it off a little bit, and a little bit at a time, your business, your personal life, relationships, perhaps your health, all suffer because you're hyper-focused on that one project or that one activity. So what I want you to do is look at your larger goals and ask yourself, what can you put into your routine that if done daily, consistently, and compounded over time will get you the results you're looking for? So to get started with success routines, I recommend bookending your day. Bookending your day is the solution to not having too much structure and still having flexibility in your schedule while optimizing the benefits of having routines. What is bookending your day? Bookending your day with routines simply means starting and ending your day with the same series of habits day after day, week after week. I came up with this method because I wanted to provide a sort of framework for my time each day that would allow my good habits to work for me without the negative feeling of being trapped in such a rigid schedule. As a business owner, our days are often filled with randomness, unexpectedness, client issues, phone calls, text messages, emails that need to be handled. And if you were to just block out your entire day and schedule from the morning to the evening your day, there'd be no time for that. And those interruptions become negative instead of a positive thing. When a client calls and wants to work with you, I don't want that to intrude and throw off your entire schedule. You need to be able to be flexible with your schedule. And by bookending your day, that is all possible. The bookending method is the ultimate flexibility in the middle of the day when it is most needed, while providing just the right amount of structure in the morning and at night. Bookending affords the opportunity to achieve larger, long-term goals by consistently encouraging purposeful, scheduled action towards those goals at the beginning and end of each day. Next, what I'm going to review with you is the 4 types of bookends. The method I highly suggest for bookending your day requires that you complete 4 different routines. 2 morning routines, that would be 1 personal and 1 business-oriented, and 2 evening routines, 1 business-oriented and 1 personal. So those are the 4 routines, and I'm going to break each of them down. The first one is your morning routines, and we're going to start with your personal morning routines. I want your morning routine to be all about investing in yourself. So productivity does not just start when you get to the office or open your laptop or start checking your emails. Productivity starts with an investment in your mindset, your health. And so to do that, I want you to create routines that support all of those areas of your life. Eat a healthy breakfast. Maybe you pack your lunch, or you make a shake, or you juice in the morning. You're getting your exercise in. Do you have quiet time or meditation time? Do you just need to get random thoughts out of your head and onto paper so that you can approach your day with being proactive versus reactive? I want you to create a routine that has layers of positive habits that help you with your personal goals. If you have a goal of writing a book or reading books, then doing that activity daily, small but consistently compounded over time, will get you closer to your goals. Now, I am a big believer in that your routines, your goals, and for that matter, your definition of productivity should all be uniquely defined by you. And so while you can research on Google every type of success routine, morning routine, top entrepreneurs do this in the morning, that's a great start to get ideas. But I don't want you living someone else's routine. I want you creating the routine that reflects your goals and vision of success. And so one of my favorite resources that I like to share with people is a book that I read all about creating morning routines, and it's called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Now, I hope he's going to be a future guest on the Productivity Straight Talk show, but for now, I want to make sure you get this resource in your hands. He has a book that has a framework that shares with you how to create the ultimate success routine based on your goals. And he uses this framework. S is for silence. A is for affirmations. V is for visualization. E is for exercise. R is for reading, and S is for scribing. And if you listen to him or you read the book, you'll hear him say, well, writing W just didn't work at the end of savor. So it's savers for scribing. Now, this gives you a great framework, but it's up to you to fill in the blanks of what habits you want to create that compounded over time will get you closer to your goals. What I do know is that the success of your life and achieving your goals and being productive and growing your business all starts and ends with you. You have to invest in yourself, both in your mindset and your health. If you're tired and groggy and sick and not feeling well, you'll never be as productive as you can. If you don't have the right mindset, if you're not ready to take on the day, you're not coming with positivity, it 100% affects your productivity. So start with your morning routine. Tackle those big goals that you have in mind for yourself personally. Day by day, little by little, compounded, you will see those results. The next morning routine that I want to share with you is your business morning routine. You already have some sort of morning routine established, whether you recognize it or not. What do you typically do when you first arrive into the office? Do you check in with your assistant? Do you check your email? Do you browse social media? I'm sure Facebook needs to be checked just one more time to see if your friend has done something amazing in the last hour since you checked, right? No, not really. It is time for you to jump right into your highest value activity. Perhaps you do. Perhaps you do focus on your highest value activity as soon as you get into the office. I want you to identify the habits that make up your current morning business routine and then make tweaks upon it to achieve your goals. Aim for being the most productive. That may mean making phone calls, reviewing current projects, first thing in the morning, and leaving social media browsing and YouTube videos and checking email till later in the day. You may find that some of your habits you have built into your morning routine may be best exchanged with habits you do in the evening when you have more or less energy depending on your own rhythms. Whatever habits you decide to continue engaging on in part of your morning business routine, make sure they are ones that build the foundation for a productive, efficient, and organized day. The second set of routines that I'm going to share with you that I believe everybody should have is your evening routines. And you're going to have two here as well. You're going to have your business evening routine. No matter what habits you currently engage in as part of your business evening routine, I highly recommend the daily review. As you heard back in episode 13, Conquering Your Day with the 5 Daily Planning Pavers, I recommend this being a part of your daily evening routine. I recommend you go back and listen to episode 13. Other rewarding habits I suggest adding to your business evening routine include processing your emails one final time for the day, clearing off your desk, especially for those of you who are struggling with organization and clutter. Spending just 5 or 10 minutes clearing your desk will enable you to come in the next morning with a clean slate, fresh and focused on what you want to work on, instead of having the overwhelming piles of papers and office supplies overtaking your desk. The next routine, and our last routine, is your personal evening routine. Just as you have a morning routine, you have a personal evening routine in which you engage in. I know you have one already, whether it's consciously or not. But what I want you to do is, again, evaluate that activity and look for areas in which you can make tweaks, add in, or eliminate. So you're going to eliminate bad habits or add in positive habits that, stacked on top of each other, will get you closer to your goals and vision of success. Right now, you might watch a recorded show, brush your teeth, walk your dog, or read. All of those activities are habits, possibly good, possibly bad, but they are activities that you're currently doing. Recently, I had a conversation about the habit of spending quality time with your significant other. A woman told me she uses the hour after she puts her baby down to make a purposeful connection with her husband every single night. She built in that habit into her personal evening routine based on her long-term goals of having a lasting and loving marriage. For those of you that are listening and have children, even young children, you know that the after school, after work, dinner, homework, sports, routine can be very tiring. And so sometimes you might go through all of those routines and responsibilities and realize you didn't have much time to even have a full conversation with your spouse. So I love that example of building in that habit purposefully, bit by bit, day by day. That's an investment in the long-term goals of a long-lasting, loving marriage. So as you can tell with the recommendations I have with the 4 different ways to bookend your day, 2 morning routines, 2 evening routines, I didn't get really specific into exactly what you should have in those routines, but rather to summarize, I'm asking you to evaluate those routines, make adjustments and tweaks based on knowing that these routines are either working for you or against you. For those of you that believe that the only way that you can be your most productive self is by having a highly structured, rigid schedule, I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. This is a great way to add just enough structure to your day, but leave the middle of your day to have minimal structure in terms of routines. And this provides you the wiggle room you need to accommodate for life's daily surprises. Simply bookending your day with structured morning and evening routines is the perfect compromise to a fully planned out day and can help you stay on the path to success. Make sure the habits you engage in during those routines align with your goals instead of work against them. Work backwards from your bigger vision to determine what you need to do on a daily basis to ensure you'll achieve the ultimate goal. Start designing morning and evening routines as a blueprint for your days, and you will be well on your way to a much more productive day. Now I know if you're listening to this episode, you are intrigued about how you can make habits work for you to be most productive. And what I have realized is that people are screwing their productivity and they don't even know it. So I've got something special for you. So before we jump into our next section, where I'm going to be sharing with you my top tips on how to create bookending routines, maintain them, and to stay focused on achieving the success of your routines, I have a little something for you. Want to reduce your stress? How about grow your business? Wish you had more time for family, friends, hobbies, and everything else you enjoy? Think you can't have all 3? You're wrong. You just need to stop screwing your productivity. Text SCREW to 444999 to receive your free copy of 10 ways you're screwing your productivity. Or you can download your free copy at theproductivityspecialist.com/screw. SCREW. Well, I hope you fully take advantage of my offer about stop screwing your productivity. Next, we are going to be talking about some of the tips that I recommend on how to make your routines most successful. And when I mean successful, I mean you're sticking to them and they're working for you. Tip number 1. Identify your current habits. I think you heard me say it a few times in the last segment, but I want to reiterate this. To create a great habit moving forward, you first need to find out where you're currently at. You need to identify habits both good and bad, both habits working for and against you. And even good habits, while well-intended, if they're not aligned with your goals and vision of success, they may not be serving you the way that you want them to serve you. So I want you to first start off with identifying your current habits and routines. Tip number 2, build upon habits using triggers. Once you've established the current habits you desire to keep and engage in, determine what additional activities you want to add to your routine. Now, you will learn about triggers and creating habits based off of triggers in episode 12 with Linda Fogg Phillips on tiny habits. But essentially what this means is you're going to be building upon the positive momentum of other habits that are already ingrained. If you're already using habits as a positivity and you're consistent with them, adding one more to it is a lot easier than starting from scratch with no habits or routine and trying to remember on a daily basis. So when at all possible, you can attach it to a trigger, possibly an already good habit that's supporting your success, that is the best opportunity to know that you're going to have consistency with your new routines and habits. Tip number 3, rework your routines until they're right. The proverb from Thomas H. Hall's writings, "If at first you don't succeed, try, and try again," applies to routine creation too. You may recreate an amazing routine that sounds great on paper, but once you use it, you realize it doesn't really work for you anymore, or you get stuck in a few areas, or the flow's not right. Don't worry, and certainly don't give up. This is the biggest challenge to routines and having them take hold is that people give up on them too easily. Perhaps you are attempting to create a habit for the first thing in the morning when you are far too tired to tackle that activity. Or vice versa, you may be trying to engage in a habit such as meditating late in the evening, and every time you go to meditate, you're falling asleep. I want you to reevaluate your routines and tweak them until they work for you. Again, this is going back to, I'm not here to tell you what your routine should be. I'm not here to tell you what your goals should be. I'm here to share with you techniques and strategies to ensure that you achieve those goals. I'm going to leave you with this one on tip number 3. When you feel overwhelmed and out of time, which is really often for entrepreneurs, it is not the time to throw your routines out the window. Instead, it is time to cling to your routines like they are the life raft saving you from a thrashing ocean. Seriously, routines can keep your sanity when everything else seems like it's falling apart. If you cling to your routines and the rest of your day goes to, I'll censor myself, but I think you can fill in the blanks. If your day just gets so out of control, I know that you will still feel productive and successful if you've accomplished your 4 daily routines so that you've bookended your day for success. When routines are engineered to align with your personal style, schedule, and goals, routines can provide much needed stability. Bookend your day with routines in the morning and evening to additionally provide just the right ratio of structure and flexibility to keep you progressing consistently towards your goals. So to wrap up today's episode, what I shared with you is the value of having routines that work for you. And the method that I use is called bookending your day. So again, you're going to have 4 routines, 2 morning routines, both a personal and business, 2 evening routines, both a personal and evening. And then you're going to be sure to utilize the 3 tips I gave you to ensure that you're consistent and successful with your routines. Now, I have loved having you here with me today, listening to the Productivity Straight Talk show, but I need to be straight with you. No change, no change. Without taking action, nothing will change for you or your business. So based on what you learned, what will you take action on today? Seriously, you listened to an entire episode about routines. Are you going to take the challenge of looking at your routines with a magnifying glass and asking yourself if those routines are serving you? And if they're not, are you willing to make the commitment to make the change? This is one of those exercises that while it seems so simple, it doesn't make it easy. And what I mean by that is, yes, the idea of routines and having success routines that support your goals seems like a simple idea, but it's not easy because most people do not take the time or make the commitment to put those routines in their lives. To share your actionables and receive support, guidance, and motivation from entrepreneurs just like you, join us on the inside of the Productivity Straight Talk private Facebook community. I want to invite you to jump on the inside and share your ahas, your insights. Maybe you have questions about this episode, or I didn't answer something with regards to routines. If you want access to me, the only place you can have access to me without paying me is inside the private Facebook group. And it's not just access to me, it's access to other entrepreneurs who are getting after it, who are purposeful, who want to make a difference in their business and in their life. So go to productivitycommunity.com. Again, you go to productivitycommunity.com, just put in your name, your email address, and I will send you a personal invitation with a private link into our Facebook community. So that's my straight talk for you today. And until next time, have a productive week.